Lionel Sanders doesn't have chickens in his intro, does he? Anyway, good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to a mini-series I'm calling Focus. The reason I'm calling it Focus is because in 2020, when the pandemic hit, I lost my focus. It's nobody else's fault other than my own. 2.5, 3 years ago, I was a lot better athlete than I am now. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm going to focus on the future, and for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to focus fully on being better. Swim, bike, run, life, the lot. And I'm going to take you along for the journey. So if you're interested in that, please do hit the subscribe button down below. I'll be very grateful for your support. So all these workouts that I'm going to cover are all on my Strava. The link is in the description. Power, heart rate, pace, all the stats I'll leave on there for your amusement. And you join me on Monday night. It's just the beginning of the training week. I've run at lunchtime for 45 minutes, just nice and steady. I'm out for a nice evening spin. If I'm honest, this is the longest evening spin I've done in a long time, but focus. So this should be about 3 hours. I managed to finish work at 4 o'clock, out the door for 4:02. Out on the roads. It's going to drop dark towards the end. I've got some arm warmers. Hopefully I don't freeze to death. Should be about 50 miles or so. I'm at the top of Via Gellia, if anybody knows it, or a few miles up past the top of Via Gellia. It's a long old climb. It's about 9 miles at about 2%, so it's not too steep. So now I've got a nice long descent off down the other side. One little climb on the way home, and then I should be back. So I'm going to have a banana, have a wee, and crack on. So why do I need to focus? Well, I'm an amateur triathlete, and I'm very, very ambitious and enthusiastic and not very good. However, that's not to stop me doing what I want to do. This year I have a number of events that I either entered a couple of years ago, have been deferred, or events that I've freshly entered, and I want to go and have a damn good time. And it's a lot easier to have a damn good time when you're in reasonably good shape. So that's what I'm going to be doing. In a nutshell, my first event is Outlaw Half Woburn, which is in about 12 weeks. So all my eggs are going in that basket for the time being, trying to get good enough shape to do a half Ironman distance triathlon in a reasonable time. About 2.5, 3 years ago, I was about 80 kilos, a threshold power on the bike of about 380 watts. Feeling good. I ran a 1:26 half marathon, was in pretty good shape. Right now, I'm about 95 kilos, my threshold's about 350 watts. Half marathon, I don't know what I could run, maybe a 1:40. Some work to do, but this is where we're going to do it. I live in Derbyshire in the Peak District in the UK, and this is brilliant. There is no excuse to not be fit when you live around here. Loads of hills, loads of good roads for riding and running. Let's do it. Okay, good evening, Tuesday evening. Went for a run at lunchtime, 35 minutes. In honesty, I wanted to do 45, but my legs were killing, so 35 minutes would do. 4 miles in the bank. Good evening, James.
Evening all.
I see your eyes light up when I get this camera out.
Oh, how I've missed them.
It's not your job anymore, is it?
No, thank
You've
goodness.
resigned. Although people were saying, now that I'm only doing 1 video a week, perhaps you could do 1 or 2 a week.
Absolutely not.
You got loads of time on your hands, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't got any time.
Okay,
In fact,
got it.
if I don't undo my shoelaces, I don't have time to sort them out before I go out for another run.
Got it. Okay. Well, anyway, so tonight we're out for a steady ride, and it is actually steady for once. Zone 2, building a lot of volume. It's been a nice ride, really. We're trying to, well, I'm front loading the week. Monday, Tuesday's good weather. The rest of the week looks pretty sketchy, so just trying to get some good volume into the bike, because later this week I'll be stuck indoors. So let's get some downhill riding done. I'll see you later. Okay, Wednesday lunchtime. It feels like it's halfway through the week because it's halfway through the working week, but it's not halfway through the training week. It's only day 3. So I'm out for a lunchtime run with Rob and Mark. Some of you guys might have seen these before. Rob's currently training for Edinburgh Marathon. Mark, well, not sure what Mark's doing anymore. He's pulled out of the marathon, haven't you?
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Anyway, so Mark's turned to a new sport. He started it last Saturday. Mark has a young daughter who's in a pushchair, pram, whatever you call them. So Mark is obviously trying to do parkrun as fast as he can, pushing his daughter around. And what did you do on Saturday?
20.5 minutes.
20 minutes and 30 seconds. And what were your excuses? You started mid-pack.
Weaving, slowing down, having to get round people.
Not optimum tyre pressure.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. There's a new sport for park runs. What's on the plan today, chaps? What we're doing?
Tesco steady.
Tesco loop, 5 miles steady. Steady for them, not steady for me. It will be steady for me. About 8.5 minute mile in, so another little run in the bank. Forgot to say, The last time I ran with Mark was the day that I got COVID, so it's a good job we didn't share a shower that day, Mark, isn't it? But we're okay today. I've got the soap, it's fine. Can that go on a family channel?
No.
Whew. Ride done and dusted. Just done an hour in zone 2, so it's still Wednesday evening. I know I said earlier that it's not halfway through the training week, but on reflection, it sort of is. I'm trying to break up this week into 3 decent days, 1 easier / recovery day, and then 3 more decent days is the plan. So I've just done 1 hour in zone 2, 219 watts, 122 beats a minute. Pretty much absolutely where I'd expect those numbers to be. So I'm really glad that I'm a few days on from getting rid of COVID now, and I'm feeling like I'm back to normal. Normal needs to be better, but I feel like I'm back to normal. But let's have a look at this week's training, because I wanted to, as the screen just goes off, that's really, really handy. There we go. I think I'm standing on some wires. Anyway, with me only now doing 1 video a week, I've got more time to talk. Sorry about that. But it also gives me the opportunity to talk about my training and my thoughts about my training in a bit more detail. Because something I struggle with a lot is feeling guilty. Not because I've done anything wrong, but just guilty about the amount of training that I'm doing. For some reason, I can never be like fully satisfied with myself. I can never finish the day thinking, great job, you've nailed today. There's always something that I feel like I'm not quite happy about. So for example, this week up to yet, I did a 45-minute run Monday lunchtime, and then 3 hours on the bike Monday night, 35-minute run Tuesday lunchtime, and then 2.5 hours last night, and today 45-minute run lunchtime, and then an hour in zone 2 on the bike tonight. But I can't help but feel guilty that I've only done an hour on the bike tonight. Now I'm sure you're sat there thinking, that's a crap ton of training, Daniel, like, you know, that's plenty. And I agree. When I'm looking at that and looking at the numbers, I agree that is loads, that is probably a bit too much, but you know, plenty. But I feel like I should have done more than an hour tonight. I just can't, I don't know why, I can't get it out of my head. Obviously I'm not doing any more, but I'm getting off the bike feeling, like I'm not feeling great. You've stitched 3 really good days together here. So it's something I've got to work on. I know that is plenty of training, as I said, but yeah, I'm gonna have to really work on my own morale. I need to balance needing to be better, needing to focus, etc. And also give myself a little pat on the back so I don't go too hard. But anyway, so that is my first 3 days training this week. 9 hours of training so far, so fairly happy with that. Let's go and get a shower, change, have some tea, and then I will see you tomorrow for, I don't really know what yet, depends on the weather. It's absolutely sleeting at the minute and absolutely freezing, so if that's the case tomorrow, then I'll be indoors again. Hello, good afternoon. It is Happy Friday today, so wind the clock back yesterday, Thursday. Just went for a steady lunchtime run with Rob. As you can see, the weather was absolutely awful. We're throwing it down with snow. It wasn't settling on the ground, but it was cold, it was windy, and it was snowing. Now, I'd arranged to go for a run with Rob at lunch and spent all morning looking out the window thinking, oh, this weather's getting worse and worse. But because neither of us wanted to be the person to say, oh, should we not bother, it got it done, and that is absolutely brilliant. That's meant that I've not missed a run and had to catch up at the weekend or whatever. Real nice 5 miles. I was feeling better because I had only done an hour on the bike the night before, so it was a little bit quicker. It was just over 8-minute miling. Today's Friday lunchtime, as I've said, just done 45 minutes again. It's 5 miles, a bit steadier today, so nearly 9-minute miling, but that's exactly what I needed. I've ran for 5 days on the trot now, and that's my sort of return to running, so I'm really conscious, especially today on day 5, I don't want to try and trigger any niggles by pushing harder when I'm on tired legs. So what I'm going to do now is have a couple of days off running. Actually, I'm going to spend more time at the weekend riding my bike. When I've got more time, when I'm not at work, I can exercise for longer, with, like, you know, weight loss being one of my main aims. If I was to go for a long run tomorrow, that might be an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half. I'm not really going to have the legs to do a decent bike ride afterwards, if any at all. Whereas if I don't run, I can get out for 2, 3, 4 hours or however long on the bike. So that is the plan. Anyway, hopefully we should be going on the club chain gang tonight. The weather's looking okay now, but it is forecast rain later, so we'll see what happens. Right, it is so frustrating. The weather's been okay all day. I've just clocked something in the camera. What are you doing there? That's not your chair. That's human's chair. Anyways, so weather's been okay all day, but then as soon as I come to go on the bike, it is like that, and it has been snowing. Now, the wind is going that way, so I'm wondering if we're going to get all that, which looks half okay. Liz, what do you reckon? Chances of getting out on the bike tonight?
I think it's a write-off, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd need to leave in 15 minutes.
And you don't know what it's going to be like en route.
I don't do that, but then you're out then. It's too late then. Anyway, Elizabeth, you've not been on the video all week. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Hi.
This is episode 1 of, oh, what did I call it again? Focus.
Yeah, been back at work since Wednesday, so I've been absolutely shattered every evening.
Oh,
since
you
going back to
absolute
work.
little soldier doing 3 days work.
But now I've just broken up for Easter for 2 weeks in a day, so I've got a 2-week training camp starting tomorrow.
Training camp,
Watch
brilliant.
this space.
No, we're not going away anywhere, are we?
No.
It's just here.
Training camp from home.
Yeah, Barbados style.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can't wait to do a whole mini-series about that.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on, right. Anyway, I'm either going to be on the turbo in a minute or out on the road, so see you there. Okay, hello. Right, you'd think that... Well, that's gone off my hat. I'm going to roll with it because I'm going uphill. You'd think this clip would be me riding on Friday night, but it's not. I did go out Friday night, didn't take the camera. There's only 2 of us on the chain gang, so it wasn't really a chain gang, but glad to get it done. Then what happened Saturday, which was yesterday, I went out and did 3 hours with the Simpsons and Chris White. We did, as I said, 3 hours, but the camera wouldn't turn on. So now it's Sunday morning, and I'm out with the guys, although they might be in the distance. We're doing today the Matlock Top 10. Some of you might be familiar with it, but it's basically the 10 biggest climbs or toughest climbs in and around the Matlock area. Now, this isn't right up my street, however, it's good training. It's not a million miles away from home, so if I do, really struggle, I can turn back. But I need to keep pushing myself outside my comfort zone. I've done a lot of zone 2, zone 3 riding this week, so pushing up to sweet spot threshold on these climbs is going to just finish the week off nicely for me. We're currently just going up Holly Lane. If you know it, I've done a hill climb on this hill before, like a hill climb race. Going up somewhat slower today though. Anyway, this is the first climb of 10, so I'll see you later on. Right, now I've waited for you lads. Just talk me through the Matlock Top 10. What is it? Is it an official route or what?
Painful, isn't it?
Is it the 10 biggest climbs in and around the Matlock area? Is that the idea?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it is an event, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no time segments today though, unfortunately for me.
We're not starting at the start.
Oh yeah, of course we're not. Okay, all right. I don't know what's gone off my helmet. Why don't you tell me my helmet's a bit lopsided?
I like it yesterday, but just kept that quiet.
Alright, come on then, I'm messing around. So we are 3 climbs in. If you've got a Wahoo bike computer, make sure you update your software because the latest update contains like a colour graph for climbing. You can see that. You can see like it's amber for pretty steep, red for very steep. There's probably some numbers behind that, but there's a lot of red coming up in a minute, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to put the camera away. I've done about 3,500 feet up to here and 20 something miles. The route in total should be about 7,000 feet, so but we'll see how we go because there's various shortcuts available that I might take up. Feeling good so far. I'm just not competitive on the hills at all, but we still just keep regrouping. Thanks lads for waiting for me. This will be a good ride out.
Your heart beats.
Okay, we've just come up Ribber, what is it? Climb 9 of 10, and we are actually going to do all 10. There's been some discussion about, oh, I've got to get back for whatever made up excuses, but we are going to do all 10 climbs now, which is good for the Strava title, isn't it? We feeling alright, lads?
Yes, thank you.
We have lost one, haven't we? Where's Al gone?
Going for his dinner.
Yeah. Sunday dinner time. Tapped out at 5 hills. We've done, how many feet of climbing done so far? 44 miles, 6,500 feet of climbing. Let's get cracking. Okay, ride done and dusted. 4.5 hours, 7,500 feet. That was a good ride and I felt strong towards the end, to be honest. I just fueled throughout. Sorry there wasn't too much footage of me talking. I'm not really able to talk cycling up a hill, and then all the downhills are quite steep and twisty, so I wasn't really able to get the camera out either. But anyway, that's the end of the training week. I'm so chuffed with this week. I'm going to get shower changed, have some lunch, then let's have a look at what this week consisted of. Hello, okay, if I look tired, that's because I am. I haven't napped today, okay? Right. So it's the end of the training week and it's the end of episode 1 of Focus. So thank you very much for watching, first of all. I am now just going to have a quick look at my training for the whole week. I've gone into it day by day, so I'm not going to break it down too much, but I just wanted to look at the total stats. So Training Peaks stats on screen now. 19 hours and 52 minutes of training, 995 training stress score points, whatever they are. 16 hours and 20 minutes on the bike, 3.5 hours of running, 245 miles on the bike, 24.9 miles running, no swimming. I haven't got time. I can't fit it in. This is me at my absolute limit, both in terms of how much training I can absorb and how much I can fit into actual life. I'm going to have to start swimming at some point in the next few weeks, but definitely for the next couple, I'm just focused on this training. So I'm really, really happy with that. I feel like it's been a tough week, but I feel like it was just about borderline manageable. It's only been made possible because my partner Liz has been so great cooking food and sorting my life out for me. My friends I've been cycling with this week makes the miles tick by a lot easier, so thank you to each one of you. I feel like I'm accepting an award for doing one training week. What I need to do though is make sure this isn't just like a hero week. I need to carry this momentum forward for the next 3 weeks of training for the other 3 episodes of this little mini series. But yeah, I feel like it's gone well. You can see my weight on there as well. I forgot to weigh in this morning, which is annoying, so I was a bit heavier yesterday, but the weight's tracking in the right direction, a handful of pounds down at the end of this week, I believe. If I can keep that going that way, if I can keep my training going like this, I'm going to be in a good place. I've got to just keep focused and keep working like this. So thank you very much for all the Strava kudos, or the Strava follows, Instagram messages, everything else. I hope your training's going well as well. You don't need to be doing 20 hours training a week. Please remember that I'm pretty much hitting the panic button, and I don't have children or any major like life commitments, or chickens and a cat perhaps, but I take my hat off to people who have real serious life commitments and have to still do triathlon training around it. So yeah, there we go. That is it. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you next Monday at 1 p.m. for episode 2 of Focus. Let's do this.